Hi everyone, my name is Maree and I'm a Pilates instructor. And today I'm going to take you through a program that's going to get your body moving in a really easy, kind of nourishing way, just sitting at our chair and at our desk. So we're stuck inside our houses at the moment and we're going to use what we have to help our bodies move and feel rejuvenated and stretched and nurtured as much as possible. So often when we're sitting at a desk all day, especially when you're studying, you kind of start to hunch over a little bit like this. You might get some tightness and stiffness in your neck, in your shoulders, in your upper back, even your lower back. You know, even your legs can get tight depending on how you sit, if you're kind of crossing like this or you sit on your ankles like I do. We just get into positions that aren't ideal long term. So this program is going to take you through some really easy exercises that will help you feel stretched and open and released and a lot more relaxed at the end. This is for anyone, this is for all levels. You don't have to have done Pilates before. If you don't even know what Pilates is, that's okay. It's just a functional based movement program. And all we do is we want to move our bodies in every kind of which way, and that's what we're going to do today. So when you're ready, sit at your desk and have your chair ready, and we're going to start by facing our chair at your desk. So to start with, depending on what kind of desk you have, I do invite you to modify according to what desk and chair that you have at home. So everyone's going to have a different one. And I also invite you to just take it easy and pay attention to any injuries or pain points that you have today. And if anything that we do in this program isn't feeling good for you or doesn't suit you today, that's totally fine. Just repeat the previous exercise or do another stretch that you know benefits you. But to start with, we're going to make our way from our feet all the way up our body to the tops of our heads. So we're going to start with pointing your foot out in front of you like this. So if you're fortunate to have a wall in front of you, press your foot up against the wall and send your toes towards your face. You can also press your foot against a table leg if you've got a strong table leg. Otherwise, just stretch your leg out in front of you, pressing your toes towards your face. And then I'll invite you to point your toes away from you. And then we're going to alternate between the two. So flexing our toes towards our face and then pointing away. And if you find holding your leg up a bit tiring, you can rest it on your other leg, point and flex your toe. And we're going to do another 5 of these. This is just to warm up and move the ankle joint and stretch out the muscles on the tops of the feet. And we'll do 2 more of these. Great. Awesome. And now switch over to the other leg. So again, pressing up against the wall or the table leg in front of you, or just sending your leg long. Flexing your toes towards your face. Heel goes as far away from you as possible. For a nice stretch in the back of the leg, and then point the toes. And then we alternate for 10, backwards and forwards. And we'll do 2 more of these. Awesome work, guys. Next, we're going to stretch the back of the legs. So now, depending on how much space you have, come forward onto the front of your chair. Now, if you have a wheelie desk chair, just be really careful that you don't tip it forward. So just be really mindful of where it is and balancing on it. Feel free to come back a little bit if that's more comfortable. But sitting as far forward on your chair as you can. Take one leg, stretch it out long in front of you, flex your toes towards your face. And then keeping this leg long, I want you to hinge your hips forward And we're going to lean forward until we get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. And you can hold onto the desk in front of you. You can even use it for leverage to pull yourself forward if you need. Depending on what equipment you have, just modify as you need. And then release back to the center. And we're going to do another 4 of these. So hinging forward at the hips and release back to the center. Hinging forward at the hips and release back to the center. 2 more times. And if you are able, you can also reach all the way down to grab onto your feet and come back to the center. 1 more time. Awesome. And now changing legs. So sending the other leg straight, sitting on the edge of your chair as much as possible. Nice long leg. Then hinging the hips forward, sending the bottom back for a nice stretch in the back of the leg. Now if this is too intense, you can bend the knee a little to release the stretch. You don't want to overstretch, so if it's painful, just ease off a little bit and then come back to the center. And then hinging forward and come back to the center. And we'll do this another 3 times. And any of these exercises can be done at any time, even while you're working, or writing, or watching a lecture, or on Facebook, because let's be real, that happens. And 1 more. Awesome. Next, I want you to take the first leg that you did before and link that ankle over the opposite knee. So you're in a sort of 4 shape. It's like the shape of a 4. And if you're feeling a stretch in the side and the back of your bottom here, great, just stay there and breathe in for 10. If you want more of a stretch, take your hand and press your knee down towards the ground. Hold it there for a deep stretch and then release. And we'll do that 5 times. Pressing down towards the ground and release. Pressing the knee down towards the ground. Ankle stays over the other knee. Pressing down towards the ground. This is a really good release for the hips and the glutes, which can make the lower back very tight. And the hips and the glutes are just notorious for getting tight when we sit down a lot. Awesome. Once you've done those, we're switching over to the other side. So take the other leg, take that ankle across the opposite knee. Sitting in this 4-figure shape. Then either staying here and breathing for 10, or if you want a deeper stretch, press the knee down towards the ground and then release. Pressing the knee down towards the ground and then release. Now if you're finding even sitting here a bit too much, you can straighten the other leg out more to ease the stretch off a bit. And that's totally okay if you need to do that. You do this 2 more times. Awesome. Great work, guys. Now, we're sitting on the edge of our chair again. Think about those really bony landmarks, otherwise known as your sits bones. And they're right on the edge of the chair as much as possible, depending on what chair you have. Sitting on those sits bones, place your hands on your hips, and I want you to roll your pelvis forward. So you tilt your pubic bone, which is this front triangular part here, down towards the floor, and you send your tailbone up towards the ceiling as much as you can. And then we do the opposite. We tuck our tailbone under and send our pubic bone backwards. And we're just going to roll forwards and backwards for 10. This is loosening up the lower back. Just take it easy. It's a little bit tight today and your range is only like this, totally fine. Wherever you're at today is okay. And we're going for another 6. And for the final 5, you can breathe in and breathe out. Take deep breaths in and out. For 3 more, in and out. In and out. And one more time. Awesome. Well done. So the next exercise we're going to do is as we move our way up our body, you can sit further back in the chair now, as much as is comfortable. Place your feet flat and firm on the ground beneath you. And then we're going to take one arm and link it over the back of your chair. Now if your chair back is quite high and you can't reach all the way over, that's fine. You can press your arm down into the top of it if that's comfortable. Essentially we're going to use the back of the chair as leverage. We're going to try and keep our knees and our hips as front facing as possible. And then we're going to grab onto the back of the chair here, like this. We'll inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to pull ourselves, using the back of the chair, around for a twist. And then release back to the center. And we'll do this another 4 times. Inhale, exhale, pull ourselves around for a nice twist. And you should feel a stretch, maybe in your sides, maybe in between the shoulder blades and your upper back, maybe even in your chest. I'm doing 3 more of these. Awesome, well done. Now we'll switch over and do the other side. So I'm going to flip my chair around just so you can see. So linking the other arm over the back of your chair. And we're inhaling to prepare, and on the exhale, pull yourself around by pressing on the back of the chair for a twist. Get a nice deep stretch and then return to the center. Now if you only twist to here, or even just this is enough of a stretch for you, that's totally fine, as long as you're feeling some sort of stretch and release. And we'll do 2 more of these. Awesome. Well done. Good work, guys. And good on you for making some time for yourself today and giving yourself this exercise program. Now we're sitting back in our chair for the next one, as far as you can, up against your chair back. If you have, again, a high chair back, I'll give you an alternative for this. We're going to link our hands behind our heads, elbows at 45 degrees. We're going to lean back into the back of the chair and let our chest relax and open over the back. And then arming back to the center. So this is a nice stretch for the upper back and the shoulders. And you might feel a bit in your arms as well. So you can inhale as you sit, exhale as you roll back over the back of the chair. And we'll do another 5 of these. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1 more. Awesome. Great. So how does that feel? Hopefully it feels really good. The next exercise is going to feel amazing. I'm going to use the desk. So just checking in if you have a rolling chair. Might actually find it easier to roll your chair back. Placing your hands on your desk, or if you've got a solid desk, you can grab onto the edge of the front. You're placing your hands on the desk and then sending your chair back. Move your arms as long as possible. Move my desk forward a little bit. And then dropping our chest down towards the floor. Sending your arms as far away from you as possible. You should feel a stretch in the back and the side. Maybe in the arms, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the armpits. And just breathe here for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. And you can do that as many more times as you like. And as we get towards the end of the program, we're making our way all the way up our body. Now we're going to take one arm up into the center, grab it with the other hand, and then pulling as we side bend over, sending your ribs up to the ceiling for maximum side stretch. Pull on your hand as much as you can for more of a stretch, and then release. And we'll do this 5 times. So side bend over, pull your hand away from you, sending your ribs up to the ceiling, and back to the center. And we'll do 2 more of these. Awesome. And now switch hands. So grab the other hand, the other wrist with your hand. Nice long arms, side bend over. Send your ribs up to the ceiling. Pulling on your hand to get a maximum side stretch. And we'll do 3 more of these. Awesome. And release back to the center. Whoa. Damn, it feels good. So to finish up, we're just going to loosen up the neck a little bit, so the neck can be put under a lot of stress and strain when we're studying and working at a desk. So now I invite you to sit on your chair just however is comfortable, feet flat on the floor, or if you want to cross your legs, you absolutely can. You're going to sit as upright as you can in your chair. I just want you to notice with your chin. You want to send your chin, tuck your chin in towards your chest to send your neck as long as possible. So the neck's getting longer, and then release. And sending the neck long as you tuck your chin, and release. And long, and release. Think about the chin coming backwards as opposed to your head nodding up and down. So you want your chin to go backwards. And release for 2 more. Awesome. And finally, we're going to stretch out the neck. So choose one side, take one hand onto the opposite, just above the ear. The arm on the side of the ear that we're grabbing goes as long as possible. Then you inhale to prepare, then on the exhale, just gently press your hand into your head to bring it over to the side for a nice stretch. If you don't feel much of a stretch, I invite you to tuck your chin in more. If it's too much of a stretch, just go as far as is comfortable for you today. And then release back to the center, and we'll do another 2 of these. And 1 more. Great. Then staying on this side, I want you to turn to face at a 45-degree angle. So kind of just over your shoulder. And place your hand on the back of your head here. Other arm is still long down towards the ground. And then As we look over at our 45-degree angle, we gently press our head down to feel a stretch more in the back of the neck, the back and the side of the shoulder, and release. So be gentle with this one, because this is an area that can get really, really tight. And we're going to do 3 more of these. Awesome. Great, and coming back to the center. And now we'll do the other side. So, whichever side you didn't do, take the hand onto the opposite side of your head, just above the ear. Other arm is pointing long down towards the ground. We gently press our head over to the side for a nice side stretch of the neck. Now the more you tuck your chin in, the more of a stretch you get. So if you want less of a stretch, just come back towards center as much as possible. And you stretch and release back to the center. And stretch back to the center, and one more. Awesome. And finally, to finish, we're now changing positions, placing our hand on the back of our head, sending our head and gaze over to a 45-degree angle, and then gently press your hand into the head and send it down for a nice stretch from the side of the neck down to the shoulders, and back to the center. And of course, only stretch as far as is comfortable for you today. And we'll do 2 more of these. Awesome. Awesome, well done guys. Now just to finish really quickly, so when you place your hands around your ribs, take a deep breath into your hands, expanding your ribs out. And let it all out. And do 1 more. And let it all out. Awesome. Good job everyone. I hope you enjoyed that program and that you're feeling a little bit better than you did at the start of the class. You're feeling a bit more released, a bit more relaxed, a bit more stretched. And I hope you enjoyed yourself today. Good luck with your studies at home, and wishing you all the best.